Good afternoon. Thanks for dropping in again for some more games. Played a few today that I thought warranted some review. So we're gonna do that now. Let's clear away this fog so we can see the future clearly. I think I played this one last night. Don't matter. We'll wait for the TCs to go down, and then we can talk about life. If I recall, this is a weird one. We'll start with Dan. Dan seems to have his TC over here. Dan is playing as the Persians today. We've got Bootyathan 1809 playing as the Poles. We've got myself playing as the Japanese. And I think we have another teammate around here somewhere. Did I miss somebody? We don't miss him. Oh, and GG? GG? Oh, he's put his town center over here. Player 6, we've got Tobias. Tobias? Yeah, it is Tobias. Playing as the Burgundians. We've got the Incas and the Franks. And we have the Flying Fungus? I don't know who the Flying Fungus is, but he's around here somewhere. Oh, I guess I already looked at that guy. Okay. I did not pronounce that correctly. It doesn't matter. I was a little concerned. We did have some close TC action here, which you don't want to have because you don't want to have to share your boar and you don't want to have to share your resources. So it does kind of force you to expand. Well, yeah. Flying Fiona hails the entire way from Seattle, West Coast. Dios, hailing from Mexico. The Burgundians, Tobias, hailing from Europe. And then we have Jack. Jack is from Boston. Early fishes going on. I had to pull that boar in from like 14 miles away from my town center, by the way, because this guy was like immediately taking the boar that was here, which, hey, it's fair, it's all fair if you're there. GG has put his fishing at the bottom of the map. And I remember seeing this and wondering what was going on, but now we know. And he is faded into the ground. I know there's like a mod that you can... Excuse me. I know there's a mod in which you can have the bodies lay on the field after they're dead. Or maybe it's just the blood of the dead. All of this sounds really morbid. This is a sweet little town setup here. The mining camps set up really nice. Let's judge who has the best town set up here, because I think this is important. There was some fishing contention going on. We do build some fire galleys and I'll kind of let that unfold. I think player 6 has the best layout so far. He's made himself a nice zigzag. This actually is a little bit better looking of the base, I think, than player 2. And really good pressure from GG early on. And GG is fishing down there, and I think he pulled his fishing ships out. So really good aggression from player 3. Meanwhile, on the front, player 1 and player 8 are facing off, and I don't quite recall what happens next. I think I do, but I think it happens a little bit later. And he's alerting everyone to the fact that the organ guns are out. And I hear... oh, there they are. Just diving the town centers here, so really good pressure from GG. 3? 4? 4 deaths, maybe? I know he was harassing out here, so that was really good. I'm so sorry, I must be tired. And Dan, I believe, is this going to build some horses? Come with some horse action? And I wanted to be noted that player 6 had his nice large base back here, was predominantly untouched. And then there's Jack. So we've got, you know, pretty simple names. We got Dan and Jack. They'd like to keep it real. My base setup is not great, but it's not terrible. Nothing really to write home there, but you know, I guess it's functional. The fishing ships attack. I'm so sorry. I did not drink coffee today, and I'm thinking that might be the cause of some of the yawns. Let me speed this up because I definitely want things to happen while we're watching this. Brought in some Elves, hitting the town centers. Getting the relics. And first, I guess these houses are from Dan earlier. I don't know why they're down here. I guess he just decided to have his villagers build them before traveling east. This town center will go down. Not even contested. I think he decides to expand. No, that was his only town center other than that one. So I guess you could say he had 2 town centers. But this is where things become a little dicey. He does not notice this. He's going to get some really good shots in there. I think that was a really good exchange for player 1. That's fantastic. Meanwhile, there was contention for this. I believe some good kills came in, but this castle unfortunately does go up. And it would have been better if we had stuck to the mangonel shots. At least it hit the economy. He had like, what, maybe 10 villagers in there? Could have gotten 2 or 3 more. Pretty easy. So player 4 and player 2 are pretty much hugging each other down here. This is probably the size of player 8's base combined, but you've got 2 players in the same location. That's not great. So player 5 and myself both expanded in two different directions, which is what you want to do, of course. A really good push from player 1. And I guess knights are the way to go against the organ guns. I don't think this goes down. I don't think this goes down. He would have been better off keeping his knights on the organ guns, 2020 hindsight. Or maybe even trying to swarm that. I was going to try to drop a castle here, and did not do it in time. I wasn't paying attention to the Villiers. To the Villiers. Meanwhile, player 6 is still just living his best life. This does not go up, by the way. I believe we do give up the water, but at this point it's already served its purpose. And like pretty close. I mean, he did a really good job at saving his castles. I don't exactly remember what player 1 did after that. Let's speed this up because there's some really good aggression here from player 8. Castle's coming in. From GG. I think he forgot those were over there. He was just gonna let it roll. Oh, I didn't realize. Wait, hold up. This is player 5, and I'm talking about player 1 this whole time. Player 1, man, yeah, we definitely should have been more spread out. That would have been a better thing, I think. And contend some of this down here would have been nice. The throwing axeman. Oh, he catches that in time. That's good. So, we are 36 minutes into this game. And player 6 does not have any military buildings whatsoever. He is content to play Farmville, and I take it back. This is the prettiest base of all bases. This guy lives and eats the original game on a daily basis. But no military buildings, none whatsoever. He is just content to let Jack do this all by himself. Jack is doing a very good job, actually. It's like 100 per shot, and that's from 14, 20 organ guns, soon to be 25 organ guns. So they're not maybe super great against buildings? I mean, it's not terrible, but I guess you give them in a mass like that, that's, you know. We were not paying attention to each other at all. So I built this here not even realizing that this was here. Did not even see player 6 in here. Did not even know player 6 was missing. But I was concentrated on this. The organ guns did dissipate, which is excellent. I'll turn off that fog of war. So Jack pretty much played a 3v1. He played a 3v1, and then GG did a 1v2. Now, to be fair, I wasn't pushing super hard. So Jack, like, played out of his mind. Jack played really well. And I think at this point, yeah, he starts to get his military buildings, and he's like, alright, 40 minutes in, time to build some knights. Better late than never. Wow, just really, really awesome. I think at this point, and yeah, I don't see, here, let's go back to the Fog of War, by the way. I think I'm seeing these buildings here now, and I'm like, this is super random. So he has now built his 6 stables in a very, very concise way. Jack was like, finally, like, done. Dios resigns. He says, you know, oh well, he's getting hit. Player 4 didn't do much of anything, I don't think. Okay, he did have a dock, but clearly didn't utilize his fishing game. I didn't see any military buildings from this guy, which stinks because, you know, he's boxed in a corner. And just to add insult to injury, this guy puts a castle literally right next to his TC and it's like, you're not gonna farm here. I'll take the rest of that hill, thank you very much. He really just wants to add this in here. I don't think he realized. I don't think he realized that's what was happening. And I do get hit really hard here. And we just have a huge paladin spam. Everyone else has just been using their cavaliers and hussars and everything else. So yeah, player 6 literally waited to the end. If he had brought any more aggression earlier on, I think his team would have done a lot better. Yep, he was content just to like let it all ride until the end. And "2020 hindsight, I think I could have knocked that gate out. That would probably been a better move, so we could raid, but oh well." Player 3 is content to stay in retirement. And we can just speed this up. Everybody with their paladins now. You love to see the paladin battles, they're a lot of fun. To no surprise, yeah, had a lot of kills. Alright, there's that one. I don't know. I think this was a arena. I think we're gonna skip that one. I think this one gets cut off at like... I don't quite remember. If we lose, we lose. It is what it is. Alright. This is really nice because I get to start with all the TCs down in where they belong, and we've got AGO Laughter. We've got myself as the Dravidians. We've got the Wise Man. And we've got the Ethiopians. By the way, if you have games you would like me to cast, please feel free to send them to me. I don't think everyone on the internet wants to hear a man talk about the games that he's played. It's kind of weird. But here we are. I work with what I got. You got the Wise Man. The Wise Matin? Him. And with Ethiopians on the other side, we've got the Electronic. Just Electronic. Playing as the Tatars. Max X Lithuanians. The Franks. And Wise Chinese. So we've got Wise Man and Wise, which is a lot of fun. I'll speed this up a little bit. I don't go super early for the waters. I do wait a little bit, I think. Hey, there's a bird. Well, that bird. Wait, hold up. These birds always just hang out on the coast? I remember back in the day you used to be able to click on the birds. And I remember the code you used to be able to put in, which would allow you to control all the wildlife, which is a lot of fun. They're content to let one another build their walls, which is nice. Alright, we don't need to watch that all day. Fishing coming out for player 3. Fishing coming out for player 8. And we'll just kind of let this unfold here. And here comes the fuel ages for everybody, which means the water should be contested. Always loving Mediterranean recently. Really loving they have it in the fold for the time being. I like the combination between the air, the sea and the land, not the air. Gosh. That'd be like some Raphael Leonardo nonsense, some air stuff. So they're just gonna patrol these waters. Oh jeez. Oh wow, there's way more here than I thought there were. Because they're all stacked on top of each other? That's 8 galleys, I suppose? So the Franks decided to bring in that aggression. And here with the combined forces of the Franks and the Dravidians, We begin to push, and he starts to run. Does not want anything to do with that. So if you wanted some good naval battles, you might get some. Here are some. And decides to take the fight. But really the numbers game, the fire ships, piling it on like that, absolutely devastating. So some good, good early aggression on the water. After that initial punch, oh, there he is. Okay, he's got more. And looking for the fishing ships in this area, I suppose. Meanwhile, just building buildings, just working on the eco. I think building my 4th town center here soon. And the war galleys. Who would win in a fight? 4 war galleys or 9 regular galleys? Oh, he's gonna go straight for the economy. I like that. And he's gonna pull these guys back, try to save his fish. On land, player 3 breaks through. I believe he was a little distracted. I think he was a little distracted with everything that was happening. Clicks his villagers in, pulls them back to the wood line. At this point, I do realize that my fire ships are just sitting idly. Sometime this day, I'll do that. Really good pressure from player 3. The archers and horses combination. I'm not sure where these are going. Maybe to repair them. Maybe. I do go see if player 4 is going to be making anything or doing anything. Oh, okay, and here's the galley. And for the Tatars, unfortunately his base is getting hit pretty hard. He goes directly across the map and does nothing about that. He's just patrolling the waters. I'm imagining he's preoccupied at home. Tries to go cavalry archers. I'm thinking, no, that's player 8. He's just patrolling the water. Just watch this tower melt and lined up like fish in a barrel. Awesome. Player 2 has done no aggression. Player 7 is content as well to let that happen. Player 6 has his cavalry out. But, okay, he's on 3 TCs. And I'm not sure if he had water or not, but clearly not on the water. And seeing this engagement here, this would be 10 to 9. And I do see this, and I bring in my unupgraded fire galleys. They were on... Yeah, they... He's very distracted. And not even close. So at this point, the water is one. This could be really devastating for player 8. You'll get it. He'll get it up, but at the cost of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 villagers. And the GGs do come in. But yeah, didn't see anything from player 4, really? Player 4 didn't do much in his pocket, and player 2 didn't do much either. They were both very content to Farmville, and maybe there's a lot of people not getting their Black Forest game. So the meta is to just wall up the side, go Imperial, and get some big armies and slam them together. Guess that makes sense to me. We're moving right along here. This is game I played earlier. I don't want to spend too much time on it because it didn't go super great. I was housed. I lost a villager pretty early on. But in this corner, player 8, who's playing as the Aztecs, myself playing as the Japanese, we've got the Goths, and we've got the Turks. On the other side, we've got also the Turks, the Teutons, the Huns, and the Bohemians. So, I would like to actually, I do want to see what happens in this corner. I guess I partly know, but what's interesting is the castle placement for player 1. Player 1 puts his castle on this side of player 4's base, effectively cutting him off from the rest of everybody else. Now, fortunately, he did have a second gate over, which was helpful. But you can see, yeah, you can see that unfold when it gets there. I was really struggling for, I think, gold this time around. I could not quite figure out why, but it was pretty frustrating. He does try to alert us that, hey, this is coming, and like we really need to stop this and all of that, but I did not have any military buildings. This was 15 minutes in. I probably would. I went man-at-arms immediately. So yes, unfortunately, this castle does go up by the skin of its teeth. We try to take out this palisade here. And yeah, it goes up, and it just turns out to be the worst thing because the Hussite wagons come in. Which I've seen people deal with Hussite wagons before, so I thought to myself, oh, he didn't know. That's the first time I saw that message. He's saying 2v1. It's actually, oh yeah, so yeah, player 3 came in to support the pocket. I believe I played with that player 3 yesterday, which is fascinating. And here's another castle that does come up. I decided to go for the monk approach instead of trying to counter it with some other unit. Meanwhile, on the other side, really forward castle for player 7, really good aggression. This is a secondary walling in here. He said you didn't even send scout, man. I actually did send a scout. So I do get a few conversions in here, which was fun. And second conversion in. Yeah, for some reason I did not see any of these messages, so. But I think that was a pretty good exchange. 2 Hussite wagons, 4 Hussite wagons, I guess, completely together? Do you get a conversion there? So was that kind of having fun with the with that, but he clearly didn't know what to do. I'm not even sure he has any. Oh, he did get some people out, so I didn't see that earlier. So he does get some people out. I don't know why I was trying to save his base. If I'd known that he was completely abandoning his base, I would have built this up a little bit better and just prepared for the next rounds of it, because I definitely thought he was still in here. So you can chalk that up to poor communication. So yeah, I think the monks work to a degree. I didn't have enough of them, so. I wish I had realized these Hussite wagons had survived. I could have pulled them away from this castle. That would have been good. Did not realize. I did not have anything to stop the knights coming in here, so that was a little unfortunate. But even on the other side, player 4. Wait, hold up. Player 4 did nothing. He's got a barracks and his castle up front. I didn't see any military from that at all. So if you want to chalk it up to poor all that, he's laughing at something I did. I can't quite remember what it was, but apparently it was very funny. Clearly the game is over on this side. You've got player 2 boxed out, you got player 8 boxed out. The only thing worth seeing is maybe a few more conversions. And he is gonna back off. So yes, very, very happy with the conversions. A little bit more. I thought the monks kind of worked. Oh, but here, like, player 3 just slams into player 4. Actually, is this the Aztecs? No, this is the Goths, and he said, I am not going to let... Oh, that makes sense. He's the Goth player. He wants the Goth spam. After he didn't get his barracks out, like... That could have maybe turned the tide of the game? But once again, you gotta have some sort of aggression early game. It makes all the difference in the world. I just want to see how many conversions they got. I think they got 5 or 6. I got a 0 society score, which means I didn't do any upgrades. Right? That's what it means. Oh, I had 12. Okay, stand corrected. I had 12 units converted. This looks wrong. Fascinating. What? What the heck? Oh, there we go. That was weird. That was weird. I think this one actually doesn't go very long. I think somebody resigns pretty early, and it's kind of like a done deal. Yeah, that's what this one is. People quit pretty early, so we're just gonna skip that one because we can watch a way better and more entertaining game. Alright. I played the Japanese, the Britons, the Burmese, and the Lithuanians. Lithuanians. The Lithuanians. And then we've got the Italians, the Dravidians, the Slavs, and the Bulgarians. We'll speed this up here and get to the nitty-gritty. Pretty sure somebody said to the people recording the voice for the llama, they said just sound like a llama, because they definitely didn't get the real sound of a llama. Oh, man. I'm definitely gonna go take a nap after this. That's the plan, I think.
What is your strategy?
Oh, I didn't even see that. He communicated with me, and I completely didn't say anything. That's really good communication from player 3. I feel really bad I didn't see that. I miss a lot of communications apparently. I get a kill on player 6, and it's a good omen. We're all well scouted out now. Who's got the coolest looking... I've always like... I remember being like super young and always, you know, hoping you could like get into something like that. Where this doesn't have any peeky holes or anything like that. You can't put anything in there, but it'd be really cool if you could put your archers in there. That would be really cool. It'd be really epic, actually. Slavs and the Lithuanians, the Dravidians. I'm just looking at everybody's walls. Yeah, the Japanese kind of have like the old school walls. The Britons have their really awesome walls. The Burmese have their walls. All the walls. Lots of fun. Making sure this guy is on. This guy's on Auto Explorer. Bless his heart. Alright. Can you give me something? Nothing. Apparently they knew what they were talking about, so that was good. Player 7 and Player 2 have a very interesting give me... Oh, they're talking about relics. Okay. Needs 2 more. Okay, so to make sure it's good, you need 3? 3 relics to make it worthwhile for the Lithuanians. Yes. I am actually going to see if I can get a translation on some of the text. Okay. Okay. So player 6's name stands for Commander-in-Chief of the Soviet Navy Kushai. Player 2's name translate to Dr. Cucumber. So that's nice. Player 8. Oh, that can't be right. No, I guess that would be right. No, it's not right. Sorry, I'm arguing with myself. Here, let me just play this regularly. Because Debrani, yeah? Oh, yeah, let me swing you over here. You can look at that while I try to figure this out. Okay. Junior Diablo. Player 7's name is Yuka Minazuki. That's so fun though. Dr. Cucumber. And then player, I want to say it's player 1. No, it's not player 1. It's definitely player 8. I believe player 8's name is Deer Crashing. So we've got Deer Crashing, Dr. Cucumber, Commander and Chief of the Soviet something something, and yeah. Ooh. And Junior Diablo is running right across. It's gonna run right into this. He sees some of the structures of the buildings and goes in. The Arambai. This villager should die. No, the villager lives. Good for them. The aggression starts over here. Long swordsman's. The wall of houses by the Burmese. Imperial Age. Just been hit here. So I mean, I assume to see some traps. This is kind of a weird castle. I think a better castle would have been a little bit more forward, but you can be conservative with the castle and still be fine. The trade here. And trips coming in. For player 7. Opposing tribes coming back. For Dr. Cucumber. I believe he's going directly after the trebs. And sees the crossbowman, decides to not risk it for now. Don't risk it for the biscuit. Player 3 pushing forward. I signal to player 3. That was coming in, so neither of us get hit. Turned out to be the best thing, really. Because those look at the range on these crossbowmen. Oh my gosh. Two-handed swordsman here. And Commander-in-Chief is bringing forward his units here. I immediately go for the siege workshop because I don't want any more surprises. Meanwhile, on the other side, Cavalier is in for the Lithuanians. For Yuka. And here, The champions are in. They're nasty when they're masked. Holy cow. And these bowmen probably will go down here. In the meantime, my two-handed swordsman, I really just want to hurt this guy's economy, so I start ripping down his town centers. And yes, the elite bowmen are mostly dead, but we've got a really steady stream from player 3 coming in to reinforce it. For some reason, they don't enter into the base. This is a really nice wall, but they don't really push that. So just pushing on the front. This could be a really good exchange here. There's a lot of damaged units in here as well. So Yuka is kind of hanging on by a thread. He is going to pull back. So there's that. Over here, we've got the champions. The champion upgrade just came in, and I waited to engage some of the units here. We got champion and the champion here. Pretty even exchange, but for the price of a lot of economy and 2 TCs, we get our elite bowman friends to really step it up here. At this point, we can just speed it up a little bit. We can watch some of this unfold. Lots of pushing in this area, but nothing's given yet. Champions coming in continually from the Commander-in-Chief. Those bowmen are nasty. And deletes that castle, says another day is a better day to build it. Lots of relics dropped from player 7. And he really wanted that conversion on one of the halberdiers. The siege elephants. Oh, wow. That was, what, 15 seconds kaput? So player 7 was getting it pretty good. Now he did have some buildings outside of his base that he could produce from. But his base gets hit really hard here. On the other side, we've still got a massive armies. The elite longbowmen showing why they are elite. And at this point, player 6 is displaying a 2v1. And just doing his absolute best to hold back the storm. Meanwhile, player 8 decides to rebuild, but is still getting trebbed. On this side, lots of trebs coming in for Dr. Cucumber. And the Italians bringing in some infantry units, so like a pretty good mass here. This is 60 units total, which is pretty solid, and I want to see how this is countered here, because I have an idea of how it's countered, but I don't remember. But player 7 is essentially not knocked out for the time being. And the trip's coming in. And just the massive archers, man. So at this point they signal, hey, I'm in trouble. And player 7 calls for the archers. Unsure why he didn't continue to just walk there. Meanwhile, the push going really well on this side. Not so good on this side. So yeah, Dr. Cucumber was pushing really good. 5 trebuchets. Siege elephants. And I believe at this point... No, he doesn't pull any of these back. I thought he pulled those back at some point. Oh, wow. Okay, wow. And player 5 just essentially just is producing his trash units to delay. Player 3 not recognizing that or not seeing that. The push going really well in front of the bases here. Player 8 still very much out of it. But I think the question on everyone's mind is, how do you stop this? What do you do? Okay. Oh my. Okay, and here are the elite crossbowmen finally feeling the heat at the front of their base. And they're barely in range. This castle will probably go down here. And yeah, really good push from coming to the center. Completely bypasses? Oh, no, excuse me. Not bypass. Player 5 is getting hit really hard. Now, he does have stuff in the center. On the other side, there's really good progress and there's really good pushes happening. Oh, and here he does bring down his archers and was like, nope, this is done. Some killed there. Okay. And that should be it for at least Dr. Cucumber's push. Player force action is still in here. So he's pulling these back for some reason. But player 5 is like pretty cleaned out. Dr. Cucumber says, I'm gonna focus my efforts over here because maybe he felt he had done enough. Meanwhile, still pushing to player 8's base, he's not been much of a threat, and we let him kind of sit there for a while. A lot of support coming up from player 2 to the base here. Really what I should have done at this point is take this market out. That would have been the best thing to do. Because clearly gold is upholding player 2 right now, but that comes a little bit later. A full push across the map. And meanwhile, player 7's just hanging in here. He's just hanging in here. Completely out of this game. Diablo? Not a lot happening there. Trying to build over and build away. And the forces relocate themselves to the north. Meanwhile, player 5 rebuilding. Player 3. Really kind of just doing a 1v1, 1v2 a little bit. At this point, it's Dr. Cucumber and myself. Lots of champions coming in. Dr. Cucumber's juking and jiving. Player 7 is rebuilding best he can. I say thank you because that's the polite thing to do. Let's speed this up a little bit more. The champion, in theory, should take care of a lot of this, but it was a pretty interesting contested thing. Okay, and so player 5 went champions. And that's what I'm saying is, and this is something I keep coming back to, is the infantry just seem to have, seem to be the meta right now. And yeah, I definitely thought this was the goth spam earlier, but it was not. So it's a pretty messy game. Pretty messy game. Player 7 still trying to get onto his feet. Really clutch castle by player 3. We'll speed this up here a little bit more just so we can move this along here. So I guess you could say at this point it is kind of a 2v2. Player 8 has not been in it for a while. Player 6 has limited military to contribute, so it is essentially a 2v2 at this point. Player 8 does manage to bring in some skirmishers, which immediately die. And at this point, Player 8's been in the game for far longer than he should have been. I think if you get him to tap out, that's maybe a GG, but we didn't really think about it. We were just focused on Player 6 and meeting the next thing instead of focusing on somebody who doesn't look like a threat. Player 6 has a good amount of time. I do start massing my champions again. Player 5 hanging in here. Player 7 has a little base down here. I didn't realize that until now. And a lot of skirmishers. A lot of skirmishers for player 7 here. At this point, I think to myself, purple's kind of keeping them in. They have trade going. If we can rip down these barracks and keep any more military coming out of them, then I think that's what needs to happen. So I begin that push. Player 3, player 2 continue to test the center. At this point, player 3 says, you need to knock out player 8. Just because. So he's like calling on my guys because I've got stuff there. He's like, please do something with them. And I said, okay. Which still, yeah. He's like, let him go. Like, do something with it. I'm like, okay. Oh, okay, and at this point they're essentially just... Oh, that was me. I sent stuff out. So I was like, well, if they're going to keep making skirms, we might as well rip those down. I destroy the rest of player 6's villas in the back. So pretty messy game overall. Player 5 does get some of his strength back and starts to push on this side. And that's just the strength of the infantry. That's what it is. Player 3 finally lets player 4 know that he's not safe back here anymore. I think that's the first time his base has been touched all game. So that's fantastic. I mean, you take them down one at a time. That's how it's done. That's how you do it. Good stuff. 898 units killed. 1,041 units killed. My KD was pretty even. Here are the statistics if you want to go through those. And there's the timeline. That's it. That's all there is. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you next time.